very fruity. Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Lüning, Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have a German whiskey here on my cask. It's a Slyrs. It's from the Schliersee, which is in southern Bavaria in the Alps, and the height of the distillery, I would guess, around 800 meters above sea level, 2,500 feet. And this means more temperature differences, faster maturation, and this distillery produces its whiskey on special pot stills, which are a lot smaller than those in Scotland, so the whiskey is quite intense, and they are maturing their whiskey in American white oak casks, fresh white oak casks. And that they do not have this intense aroma transfer like the bourbon has. They just fill it with an ABV of 55%. So this is something special. You have to, well, you have to adapt to the parameters your distillery has. And now they are starting to finish their whiskies. And this one was finished in port casks, 46% ABV, and they have several editions, not of port casks, but of different casks they have matured in. There is, I think, in edition number 3 with sherry casks, and there's a small leaflet with a bottle, and they're telling that the Alto Duro, the high Duro Alto, is the oldest protected by, well, copyright laws or laws of origin wine region of the world. It was already protected in the 19th century. And then I read something in here I haven't known before. I know this old tale, Madeira is so much better than beer. Well, and here is passing the port. Passing the port means that you always have to pass the port at the table from the right to the left. If not, well, it's an offense. I don't know if you have to pass the bottle and pour yourself, or if you have to pass the glass to the next one. It's a Ritus, no idea. So passing the port. Well, port wine, whiskey matured in port wine is one of my very favorite. So this one is one of my favorite prey. Edition number 2, finished in a port cask. There's nothing sad about the age. All I've heard was that it's finished for a year in those 500-liter sized port casks, and Slyrs is typically maturing, and they say it also in this small leaflet, in fresh American white oak casks with 225 liters content. So they typically pour 2 of those casks for finishing in one of these port wine casks, and there's still a little headroom left. It's 46% ABV, natural color, and it shows this slightly red color, where here it looks a little bit brownish, or yeah, golden brownish, but in the glass, if you look in it, there's these light red glue. And what's said here in the paper? Well, fruity port note. Here we go. Very fruity. And there's immediately this Duro port note in it. And port is not very popular any longer in the world, and if you go to your local liquor store, just take one. A ruby port or a Duro port. not too dry. Take one of the sweeter ones, which are typically used for the finishing of whiskey, and have it neat. Pass the port to your right neighbor, or from right to left. I can't remember. No, just the first today. No. Very fruity, typical port character. And then there's some vanilla showing up, probably from the first American white oak casks. And the spicy oakiness is missing. Because the American white oak casks were filled only with 55 ABV to prevent the high transfer of the bourbon typical style, and the port cask was only used for a year. And I do not know if this whiskey is in total 3 years old, or if a 3-year-old whiskey was finished for another year. No idea. Very pleasant, wonderful mouthfeel, not too strong by the ABV. Some spiciness from the oak is already showing up at the tip of my tongue. Port influence everywhere, and a long, strong aftertaste. Red fruit. Not too sweet, but sweet. Yeah. Port finished whiskies are one of my favorite, and this one might gain more if it matures for a longer time. But it already shows those typical port wine and mature influences, and the distillation is that good that you can't taste the youthness of the spirit. So it's distilled high enough to avoid these unpleasant young components in whiskey. Oh, how to tell it? Well, thank you for watching. There's more to come, and if you want to discuss this whiskey with me, please do so in our vlog on Whisky.com.